This whole scope creep campaign and conversation, it is my personal belief that it doesn't reflect the reality of many of the physicians that I have worked with. Welcome to The PA is In, the show created by PAs for PAs, where codependency with your supervising physician is a thing of the past, optimal team practice is the future, and physician associate has taken the place of physician assistant as the professional title of choice. I'm Tracy Bingaman, and I'm obsessed with redefining what success as a PA looks like and what it feels like. Here you'll find the mindset shifts, systems, and processes I use to escape healthcare burnout and integrate my work into my life. Work-life balance is a myth, and an integrated life where you thrive professionally, not a balancing act, is the goal here. My mission is to help you to grow into a unicorn PA who loves their job, has abundant energy, time to spare, and work-optional financial freedom. The PA is in. Hi, friends, and welcome back to another episode of The PA is In. Today, we're tackling a topic that's been making waves in the healthcare world, and that is scope creep. Now, if you've been online or chatting in healthcare circles, you've probably heard some heated conversations, posts, and comments about the idea of scope creep. It's been a bit of a buzzword lately, and while I think that discussions about professional roles and collaboration and optimal team practice are valuable, the way this topic is being framed feels off. Frankly, this smear campaign from certain organizations is incredibly frustrating. But here's the thing: we can't control what others say and think about us. But what we can control is what we focus on, how we show up for our patients, and how we each individually and collectively as a group can work to elevate the PA profession. So today, we're shifting gears. We're going to talk about 5 impactful areas where you can focus your energy and attention as a PA. These are things that truly matter and will make a difference in your career, your patient care, and for our profession as a whole. Let's get into it. You know that connection is one of my core values. So when I saw that Sermo created a new space for APPs specifically, I jumped at the chance to join. I joined because it's a space built specifically for PAs and NPs, a community where I could connect with providers who actually get it. I was drawn in by the opportunity to share insights, hear real stories, and honestly, also by the chance to earn a little extra money through surveys. And let me tell you, it's been worth it. In less than a year, I've made over $1,000 just by sharing my expertise in answering surveys. But beyond the income, the biggest value of the Sermo APP community has been realizing that I am not alone. Seeing what others are going through, whether it's burnout, work-life balance struggles, or even clinical challenges, and celebrating their successes. It has made such a difference in how I approach my career. If you're looking for a reliable additional income stream and a vetted community of like-minded providers, Sermo is where you need to be. It's the best place to learn about trends, see how others are doing, and make strong connections. Sign up today using the link in the show notes and join me inside this community of clinicians. And you'll even get a $20 bonus just for joining. Because in medicine, we're stronger together. First up, building strong patient relationships. Let's start with the heart of what we do, taking care of our patients. No matter what's going on around us, the patient sitting in front of us is why we're here. Building strong relationships with our patients isn't just nice. It's an essential part of practicing healthcare in a way that is compassionate and compelling and impactful. Trust and communication are the foundation of effective healthcare. Here's the thing: patients don't care that much about our title or professional debates between organizations about our scope of practice. They care about feeling heard, understood, and cared for. And that is something that we can control and make a difference every single day. So, how do we strengthen those relationships with our patients? We start by really listening to what they have to say, asking open-ended questions, and letting them talk. We take time to explain their diagnosis and treatment plans clearly. We answer their questions. And never, never underestimate the power of empathy. A kind word or an acknowledgement of their fears can go a long way in building that trust, in building that bond over time with your patients. Focusing on the patient in front of you will always be time well spent. And the bonus, strong patient relationships build trust with the general public, with our patients, and therefore elevate the PA profession. Next up, professional development. I know you're busy. Trust me, I get it. But staying current with your medical knowledge and sharpening your skills is one of the best ways that you can invest in your career and in yourself. This might mean pursuing additional CME, going to a course, getting certified in something, or diving into a specialized area of practice. Maybe that means a residency or fellowship, or just taking time to become more comfortable managing a disease process or doing a procedure that you've always wanted to really conquer. It could even be something as simple as blocking off time each week to read the latest research or listen to an educational CME podcast. Now, why is this so important? Because practicing at the top of your license isn't just a catchphrase, it's our responsibility. When you're confident in your knowledge and skills, it shows up in your patient care, in your team interactions, in your communications with other, and your overall impact as a clinician. Making sure that you are expanding your scope as much as is legal and reasonable and moral is a huge impact on the profession. But professional development and these skills in the CME and becoming a more competent, confident provider isn't just about today. It's about paving the way for other providers, and it's about opening doors for your future and the future of our profession at large. The next thing that we can do that is well within our control is to be intentional as a profession about fostering mentorship and sponsorship. So these are two slightly different but equally important things. Mentorship is about guidance. It's about having someone to share advice, to answer your questions, and to help you navigate challenges. But it's not just about being the mentee, it's also about being the mentor and turning around and saying to other people, hey, I'm here to answer your questions. I've been where you are. I did this thing. I want to help you. I want to share, what helped me to get to where I am, what didn't work for me, and to give encouragement and advice from a mentorship standpoint. Now, sponsorship, on the other hand, is more about advocating for others. Having someone in your corner who speaks your name in the rooms where decisions are being made. Oftentimes, when we have guests on this show and we talk about them getting into a role of executive leadership or organizational leadership, they talk about their sponsor. They don't always call it this, but they'll often say, someone said my name as someone who would be good at this or be qualified or really be good at building this department or doing this thing. Sponsorship is when we say, hey, I'm not the person for that job, but I know who is. And we take the time to raise that person up and to promote them and to build them up so that sometimes they can do something that they never thought would be possible. Whether you're a brand new graduate or a seasoned PA at the tail end of your career, having mentors and sponsors and being a mentor and a sponsor is a game changer. Take the time to invest in those around you, share what you've learned, advocate for others, be a part of building a culture and support within the PA profession. I've said it before and I will say it again. I think our profession is going through puberty. That we were attached to physicians and called physician extenders and, assistants for so long that we are sort of going through this season and period of time where we are becoming our own freestanding profession. And in order to do that, supporting each other, promoting each other, being mentors and sponsors is so important during this vulnerable time for the PA profession. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or craving a little more flexibility and financial freedom? You're not alone. So many clinicians feel trapped in the grind, overworked, underpaid, and unsure how to pivot. But here's the truth. Your skills are valuable beyond the clinic. That's why I created the 48 Side Gig Ideas for Healthcare Providers guide. a free PDF packed with practical, creative, and immediately cash-generating ideas that you can start right now. From telehealth to medical writing and patient advocacy to app development, and even a little note on podcasting, these things aren't fluff. These are real, proven opportunities that other providers are already doing. You don't have to figure it out alone. This guide will help you explore new passions, learn how to make extra money, and make the first step towards multiple income streams and building the life and career you actually want. Download your free copy today at tracybingaman.com/gig or click the link in the show notes and start creating financial freedom and cash flow flexibility on your own terms. Because you, my friend, are more than just your clinical job, and taking the first step to generating alternative revenue streams is waiting for you inside the Side Gig Guide. Find it now in the show notes. Number 4 is setting boundaries for sustainability. We're going to shift a little bit to talk about something that is so close to my heart, boundaries. We have tons of episode about boundaries. And when we talk about burnout on this podcast, which we do a lot, which is for good reason, because it happens just so much inside of healthcare. Without clear boundaries, it's way too easy to overextend ourselves and end up exhausted and resentful. I think that we do this a lot early on in our career, but I also think we do this a lot because as PAs, we do want to prove ourselves. We want to prove that we're capable. We want to prove that we're competent. We want to prove that we're team players. So sometimes we have poor boundaries and we raise our hand that we're willing and able and willing and able and willing and able. And to the point where we are still willing, but maybe unable because we're struggling with burnout or compassion fatigue, and we're just having a hard time doing the things that we really want to do. So here's what I want you to remember about boundaries. Boundaries are not selfish. Having strong, enforceable, clear boundaries are necessary. These boundaries allow you to show up as your best self for your patients, for your colleagues, for your family, and for yourself. Maybe that means saying no to taking extra shifts, setting limits on after hours communication or availability, and carving out some time to meet your own basic needs and take care of yourself. Whatever those boundaries look like for you, boundaries are the key to longevity and sustainability in this career. I passionately believe that you cannot have a long, sustainable career in anything, but especially in healthcare, unless you have some intentional and specific boundaries. Finally, let's talk about advocacy for the PA profession. Advocacy doesn't only mean lobbying on Capitol Hill, though if that's your thing, go for it. I have shared some episodes on me doing that in the past, stepping out of my comfort zone, and it really has been a unique experience. Advocacy can be as simple as sharing your story, as educating patients and colleagues about the role that PAs play, correcting people when they mislabel or misconstrue what PAs can or can't do, or getting involved in your professional organizations. The more we advocate for our profession, the stronger we will become as a collective, as a profession, and also inside of your organization. And let's be honest, if we aren't intentional about controlling the narrative and telling our own story, someone else will. And what they say or write as the story of PAs might not reflect the reality of what we do, might not paint us in a good light, might be something like the scope creep smear campaign, which is not what we want in terms of the way that our profession is construed and the way that our profession is represented. All right, friends, let's bring this all home. This whole scope creep campaign and conversation, it is my personal belief that it doesn't reflect the reality of many of the physicians that I have worked with. Most of the doctors that I know truly value collaboration and respect what PAs bring to the table. They accept and acknowledge that PAs and physicians are trained differently, but that doesn't necessarily mean that PAs are out here trying to take over physician jobs, trying to do things that they're not qualified to do. But even if some of the voices out there don't get it, we still have the power to show up as our best selves and let our work speak for itself. These 5 areas we've talked about today about cultivating deep and meaningful patient relationships, focusing on professional development, being intentional about mentorship and sponsorship, setting boundaries, and writing our own story in terms of advocacy are all things that we can control. These are the things that are truly going to make a difference, not only in our careers, but for the entire PA profession. So let's work to tune out the noise of smear campaigns and scope creep and focus on what truly matters. You, my friend, are doing a great job and you've got this. Until next time, take care of your patients, take care of yourself, take care of each other. That's all for today. This PA is out. Congratulations, you've just joined an awesome club. By listening to a full episode of The PA is In, you are officially on the Unicorn PA team. Welcome aboard. What most team members do is they subscribe to the podcast because that allows them to automatically get the latest episode of the show. The life of your dreams exists on the other side of taking action. Keep making small shifts and keep getting better. Your life will improve, your career will soar, and you will have the confidence you need to create your own success. I will see you in the next episode. This PA is out.